Joy, and welcome to my studio. Today I wanted to show you how to create a 4th of July wreath for right around $5. All of my items I picked up at the Dollar Tree, including the wreath itself. If they don't have them, you can always ask if they can order them in, but this is becoming a more common item for them, as well as a star garland and the wire mesh. And there's some really cute items on the mesh itself, showing you how to do some real fun ones as well. I may or may not add the garland as we're going, so we're going to start with that and then see as we go. So I'm going to tie on to this inside one, and I'm using a little bit of my pipe cleaner. And we're just anchoring. You can have a little bit of a tail. We don't want too much. And then we're just going to bring that up. We probably want about 3 inches. And we're going to be filling it in each one of these. So 3 times. So, and I'm not twisting it. If you want to twist it, it makes it a little bit more stable. There's nothing wrong with that in between each one of those. So we're going to bring that up. Now I am going to twist it to bring it back around to the front. We're going to start that again. 1. And squish those down, put them in there. And you can start on the inside or the outside, it really doesn't matter. And if that gets twisted in there as you're going, that's okay. It's real forgiving. It is real forgiving. I'm just trying to keep these pulled the same as far as that goes, and keeping them all the same height. So I am going to keep pulling it. I'm going to push them down. As we might put all of these, if we decide that we want some of these to go into the next one, we could do that. So I'm twisting them now to kind of anchor them. Make sure you're not pulling from your last one. And then we're going to start again on the inside. And then in the next one. And in our last one. So I'm going to just continue working this up and pushing these down. I want to get this nice and full. And then we'll start our red and our white. I did decide, instead of putting this all in here and having it thicker, that I am going to go ahead and make more of it blue. I really like a little bit more blue, I think, as well. So I'm going to move it forward into the next section and continue to work, and it's really more than full enough there. And just keep working it just like we did before and pushing it down as we're going. So I'm finishing up on my last one, and I've come up to the edge right about there, and again I'm going to anchor it off and just catch that tail end of our blue mesh. And you just want to catch it in the wire, so it kind of doesn't matter where it ends too much, as long as you catch that in our wire. I'm trying to do it where you can see and I can see. So we've got that nice and blue there. So we worked our way down. I am going to go ahead and use my garland. I think it just gives it that extra sparkle. You don't have to. I think it also helps hold it in place a little bit better, but just for fun. And what I have done is I have started kind of where my blue ended, and I'm going to work a little bit of this backwards so I don't have to. And we're just going to run it through the inside. We're going to do it through these 3. I don't think I have enough to do it on the 4th one. But if you do, you can do it on the fourth one as well. And it just gives it that extra little sparkle, but also kind of helps give something to anchor the white and red to help it stay in place a little bit more. You can anchor it on with a pipe cleaner if you want, but it's got wire in it, a little bit of wire in it, and you should be able to just kind of twist that end around a little bit and anchor it. And you're gonna probably have to hold that guy in place because we're not at the very end like last time I did that. So I'm gonna anchor it with a pipe cleaner. And get it stuck in my mesh here. So I'm going to do a couple through each one of these sections. 1, 2. So I'm just weaving it through, pulling it in and out. And so then I'm going to get up to this one right here, which you can see I have a section nice there, so I can go under that section and hold that one in place without any difficulty at all. And once I get in that section, we're going to move into this next section. So I'm going to continue working this around. And last time, like I said, I did all of them but this one, and it didn't really seem to matter that way. And I will finish this up and show you what it looks like. Okay, I've gone all the way around. I had just a tiny bit, so I ran it up against that bottom part there. So we're going to go back to where we first started here, or where we left off with our blue, and we're going to start our white, and we're going to pull it up and we're going to tie off the tail the same as we did before. And I'm going to use my pipe cleaner and tie that off to anchor that on. And you can start with the red or you can start with the white. Either one is fine. So now we've got that in our first one. I'll bring that back. Move these guys down if I can here. In our second one. And in our third one here. Watch your mesh. It likes to stick to everything, including the other mesh. So we want these to be about the same size as what we were working with before. So keep them consistent in size. So once we get those three in, we're going to stop and we're going to come back and pick up our red. And we're going to start again tying it off with our pipe cleaner. So we're going to get this up underneath. And you should get, once we start these, you should have 3 sections, and I'll tell you what I mean in a second here, of the mesh in each group. And I know it would probably be easier to see if we didn't have the garland on, but I think it just gives it that real fun, playful, festive feel. So anchor this guy. It's better to have your pipe cleaners a little bit too long than a little bit too short here. So get your white mesh out of the way. And I have this one on the section right here. I have it on this bottom, but this next red one I'm actually going to do on the next section. So it's actually kind of moving up. then our next red. Okay, so now we've got all of those in there, and so we're going to take our white and work it back over the top of the red. Don't pull from up here. We're going to twist that and go to the front section, and we're going to do another row of white, and we're going to start alternating them, red and white, to make our stripes for our flags. So now we've done the white, so now we're going to bring the red. Again, we're going to cross over and twist it. Twist helps hold it into place. And get it in that second one. It just takes a little time. It's not hard. Don't make it rocket scientist. It's easy to do. It's just going to take a little bit of time to get it there. And we're just going to keep alternating these. And if you pull these off, don't worry about them. That's okay. They're going to come off anyway. And so now I'm going to stop, and I'm going to twist my white and do it underneath. And what I was talking about is we should have probably about 3 reds and 3 whites in each section. If you find that you don't want yours that full, then don't do them that full. And you might also find that on the inside you may need to actually go to the next section, and that's okay, because the inside is smaller than the outside, but you should only have to do that a couple of times in the whole process. But that gives us our white rose. So I'm coming up to the last section, and if you started it in white, you want to end it in red. And I noticed my loops weren't quite as big on this one as the last one I did, but it's all going to be up to you and how big your wreath is and how much you need to fill with what you have. And I'm going to get this last one in here, and we're going to anchor it off just like we start them off. And I apologize, I know with the garland it's been a little bit harder to kind of see what I'm doing, but I really like the garland. I think that's really nice. I only had just a little bit of red left. If you even wanted to just kind of put it in there, you could. That's up to you. I have a little bit of white left, but I want to show you what I want to do with the white. So I'm taking my red pipe cleaner, and again we're tying that tail off. And I kind of wanted to explain again, each section should have at least 3 strips. So like one section here, you should have 3 red, 3 white, and 3 red again. So you've done 3 rows in each section. If you were doing smaller, maybe you could do that. And then I also ended my white right here. So again, we've got to do the same thing. We've got to anchor that off. And I'm going to show you, if we've got a little bit of white, we can kind of use that in between to help with the stars. So whatever you think of that. had to take my scarf off because I kept connecting to my mesh, but isn't that cool already? We've got that nice and fun, and you are going to knock some of your garland off when you're working on it. That's okay. There's still a lot of sparkle in there. And so I'm going to take my white, and I'm going to have enough for 2. I would like 3 because that would kind of make it an odd number. Let's see, maybe if I can get that into 3 pieces here. I'm going to just do 2, maybe find a scrounge another little piece up here. And then what we're going to do is roll this up, and I'm going to use my white garland, or my white pipe cleaner. I'm going to twist that real good, and then we're going to come back in here in between our blues, and you're going to anchor that on to your frame. And that's going to kind of give you some stars. We're going to put some more stars in there, but that kind of helps break that blue up a little bit. So I would like 3 in here. So I'm going to do 1 here, and then I'm going to come back and do 1 more there, and we'll get those all tied in, and then we'll start doing our star garland. So I've got all 3 of those in to kind of give it the star look, and I'm going to be using the bigger star garland. And I'm going to show you something else that I might really like too. You could use the small one. I just wanted the stars to show up more. You can do as many or as few of these as you think this calls for. Wherever you think. I'm going to push it underneath, and we're going to twist this, and then we're just going to simply wrap circles. You might want them smaller, especially if you used a smaller one. You might want to use your finger or a pencil. It's going to be up to you. I like it bigger because I'm using a bigger one. I always kind of bend my ends in case somebody got tangled in them. You want to be careful with eyes as well. So we're going to give it this kind of just star feel. And another way I put these on instead of trying to have to worry about bringing that back is I found the wire, and I would simply just put this underneath it and then bring both of these through it, and so I didn't have to twist it on. So whatever way works better for you on that. Again, turning your trips in, but you're seeing you're starting to get all these real fun stars, and I want to do at least 3, so it looks like we've got stars. You may want more. That's going to be up to you. Isn't this pretty to have on for around $5? There's all kinds of picks that you can put in these as well. Best time to look for decorations is after the holiday this year, so you can get them on sale. So we've got that. I found these fun little picks at Michael's. They're kind of shooting stars and they are on a wire, and I thought those might be really fun to stick in as well, depending on the color or what you wanted to do. You could trim those down and then just wire those in, and then you have some stars shooting out. So there's so much more you could even add to this. It just depends on how much you want to do with that. But see how that little garland adds to it. But for around $5, you have your really cute 4th of July wreath. The one thing I wanted to stress is don't make it hard. If it works easier for you a certain way, then do it that way. The more I got into it and just did it, the easier it was and the better it looked. So don't make it complicated. But let us know that you liked our videos. Give us a thumbs up and please share them. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can continue to grow and bring you all these wonderful videos. Thank you. God bless.